Bryce, is there a certain Anthony has this last?
That's funny.
Just open this no. We're in public, we're here to hear. We're here to hear people.
I'd like to call order a special meeting of the City Council, the City of Perry for June 7th, 2021 at 6:02. Roll call, please.
Okay. Wines. Morrow. White.
Here.
Bell.
Present.
Brown. Here. Dilbeck. Bond.
Here.
Coldarn. And Stroller.
Here. I do declare a quorum, barely. Tonight's invocation will be by Gloria Brown.
Father, we just come before you tonight with thanksgiving in our hearts. So thankful for this day, so thankful for your compassion and your love toward us. So thankful that we can come together in this body to serve our community. We just thank you, Lord, for wisdom tonight, that you would just give us insight that's beyond our own understanding, and that you will just help us to make decisions that would honor you and honor the people of this community. And we ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Item number 1 is conduct a public hearing on the City of Perry, Oklahoma fiscal year 2021-2022 annual budget. So if anyone has questions about the budget from the public, this is the time. Hearing none, we will move to item number 2, motion on adjournment.
So motion. Second.
Roll call, please.
White.
Yes.
Bell.
Yes.
Brown.
Yeah.
Bond.
Yes.
And Stroller.
Yes, thank you.
Alfred?
I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Perry Municipal Authority, June 7th, 2021, 6:15. Roll call, please.
Wine. Here. Morrow. White.
Here.
Bell.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Dilbeck. Bond.
Here.
Coldiron.
Here.
Stroller.
Here, I do declare a quorum. Item number 1 is the consent agenda. It's the minutes from the last meeting.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Okay, Wines. Yes. White.
Yes.
Bell.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Bond.
Yes.
Coldiron.
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes. Item 4, comments from those assembled pertaining to items on the PMA agenda. Hearing none. Item 5, proclamation and accommodation of reports required by the governing body. Hearing none. Item 6, any new business which needs to come before the municipal authority. Item 7, motion on adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Wines. Yes. White.
Yes.
Bell.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Bond.
Yes.
Coldiron.
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes. I'll call over the regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Perry, June 7th, 2021, at 6:16. Roll call, please.
I'm getting a remote mouse for this thing. Okay, Wines. Here. Morrow. White.
Here.
Bell.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Dilbeck. Bond.
Here.
Coldiron.
Here.
Stroller.
Here. I do declare a quorum. Item number 1 is the consent agenda. Consumes most of the alphabet.
I'd like to pull J through N and R, please.
J through N
Make a
and R.
motion. For discussion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Wines. Yes. White.
Yes.
Bell.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Bond.
Yes.
Coldiron.
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes. Item number 2, items removed from the consent agenda for discussion. Derek?
Yeah, only on J through N of the alphabet, not balking at the contracts at all, but should we not do those after we approve the budget?
You certainly can. You certainly can. We put them on this agenda, they're often on the second agenda, but, I mean, that's that would probably be smart.
Okay.
I mean, if you had to cut the budget or something, you very well may be looking at those items.
Again, not balking at the
Oh,
contracts
no.
at all, just
No.
thought,
No, I think that's smart. R, of course, is something we have to do every year. Arbitrage, of course, is a calculation that you make to make sure you're not making interest over and above that which the rate was on the note. You can't make more interest than that, and we're required by the trust indenture of this bond issue to have one of these each year. It's a $500 fee.
is it just, is this the same company? It just didn't look familiar to me.
Yeah, yes, it
Every
is.
5 years.
It's
Yeah.
Every
arbitrage
5 years?
compliance specialist,
Okay.
yeah.
I just
Yeah,
didn't remember.
which is,
Okay.
in fact, it's been so long that the staff guy that I normally use, I emailed him in his little staff email, and he's now the VP. So he was like, I'll send this to my
Okay.
employees.
Maybe it had been long enough that it slipped my mind, but it looked a little out of the ordinary. So, I guess, do we need a motion then?
Yeah, a motion to continue J through N to the next meeting.
So moved.
Yeah.
Second.
Any further discussion? That would actually apply under item 3, wouldn't it, Bryce?
Would apply to which item?
Item number 3, consider an act on items removed from the consent agenda.
Yes.
So we'll do that under item 3. Is that right, Derek?
Yeah.
All right. A roll call, please.
Okay, Wines,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Bell,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Bond,
Yes.
Goldar,
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes. Item 4, comments from those assembled pertaining to the items on the city agenda.
We didn't do anything with R.
We had our discussion, I didn't need to do anything.
Okay,
Yeah. The rest of them are passed.
okay. Okay.
Thank you,
Well-
Mary.
Well, he pulled it, so it wasn't approved under the consent, so shouldn't it be approved in
Oh,
a separate?
I
Yeah, it probably should be
I see.
approved separate, you're right.
Okay,
I see.
Thank you, Meredith, again.
Yeah.
sorry.
Motion to approve item R of the consent agenda. Have to have a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Wines,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Bell,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Bond,
Yes.
Goldar,
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes. Item 4, comments from those assembled pertaining to the items on the city agenda. Hearing none. Item 5, proclamation, combination reports of the inquiring body by the governing body. Hearing none, we will move to item 6, city manager's comments, to include presentation by Noah Black by Oklahoma Free Will 2021 Agreement.
Can we start?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I am Noelle Black with the Perry Chamber of Commerce. So I did put down flyers. June 10th, we get to be the host city for Oklahoma Free Will. So this is a tour that goes from Vernon, Texas to Ark City, Kansas. So we will be their 5th stop. We tried to do this in 2020, but COVID. And so luckily 2021, we're able to get back to it and plan it. It has been a long time coming. Larry has been in this meeting with me as well. So since we are a host city, these bikers will be coming in from Kingfisher. So we will go to Kingfisher the night before, welcome them to Perry. And then we have signs made as they come in, just welcoming them, letting them know how far they have. Some of them are kind of corny, which is what they asked for. That just kind of gets them pepped up to get into town. So we will have them a bike lane coming in on Fur, and they will go down to our downtown square and stay the night. So they will come in anytime from 8 a.m. to, they have to be in by the afternoon or by 5 o'clock for sure. So these bikers will be coming in. We're expecting about 300. So we have games on the courthouse yard that will be going on. Main Street helped us with food trucks, and Main Street will also be serving gelato. And just trying to provide some things for our bikers to do while they're staying on there. We also encourage them to get up and walk around. So these are people that will be in our shops, will be purchasing items at our stores, and hopefully will come back with their families in the near future. So we are also trying to get Valhalla open so they can practice at the Axe Place. So just really trying to encourage everybody to congratulate these bikers. They're biking, I think it's 62 miles that day. And so that's a very long way, depending on how the weather is. They may be really happy or really not. I know last night we were discussing they had storms come through and knocked over their tents, and so they have not had a great start to their tour. So when they come in, we really want to welcome them and let them know that we're glad that they're here. We will have a welcome tent, so it will look just a little bit different downtown. There will be a lot of traffic. There will be a big inflatable welcoming the bikers in, and these are bicyclists, not motorcycle bikes. And our welcome bags will consist of beef and cheddar sticks, granola bars. We thought we were pretty keen to put in some sleep masks for the street lights, so that way those will not bother them since they will be camping on the square. And then we also have earplugs because we all know how the trains go through, we wanted them to be comfortable and try not to wake them up. So they'll be staying that night on the 10th, and then on Friday morning, First Christian Church and other churches have agreed to give them breakfast. And so we're very thankful. It takes a village, but it also takes an entire community to bring something like this. So we are very excited and really hope that people come downtown. Like I said, there will be food trucks. This is also the night that the Free Will Tour will also do their talent show. So if there's anybody in town that wants to be a part of that or just wants to come down and see that, it'll just be something really fun for us to get out and do in the evenings. So that will begin, their team meeting is at 7, so that will begin a little bit after. As far as downtown, they do bring a lot of traffic with them. So they have 3 trailers that will come in. We have decided to host them on South 6th Street, where the carnival trucks usually are parked. They have a lodging truck, they have a shower truck, and then they also have a luggage truck. There are some RVs that are following them, and then some vehicles that will also be with the tour. So we want to open that up. Parking may be a bit of an issue, but we want to let them know that we're glad that they're here, and try not to make too much grief on them for coming in and bringing the vehicles that they are. The RVs, I believe, are planned to park on the south side of the square, depending on how many they have. There's also room over on 6th Street as well, but we just want to accommodate them and make sure that their stay here is welcomed. So anybody have any questions about this? Do you have anything you want to add, Larry?
Thank you.
No? Yeah. All right.
I believe one of our own, one of our ex-councilmen, Brett Nation, is participating in this.
Yes, he is. And he put up a live, so if you follow him, he has some videos that he's posting every morning. I know last night was a little bit rough for them, so they may have some extra indoor campers just because of the weather. I'm not going to talk about what it says on Thursday, but hopefully we're in the clear. But yeah, it's we do have Brett Nation and his sons, I believe, both are riding in that
Are
tour.
they gonna be required to stay on the square, or are they gonna go home for a minute?
But we don't know. It doesn't hurt us. But I also, while I have the floor, I do want to mention one other project that we are working on that does not pertain to Oklahoma Free Will. But just to get the word out there, we are working with Stidham Media Group Holdings. They are publishing a community guide for us. So as you know, we somewhat have a shortage of brochures and maps and things for our city. And so this is just an opportunity for us to have something that we can hand out to people that are coming into our community, visitors, community members. It'll have feature stories of things that we have in our community. They're fairly reasonable ad prices, so if you have a business or are interested in being in that, let myself or Karen Edgar is our contact with that. So this is something we are very excited. We're trying to go off of what Guthrie's guide looks like, and if you've ever seen theirs, it's very impressive and colorful. I didn't bring them because every time I do, nobody listens. They start going through the guide because they want to see what's in it. So I did not bring them. I do have some in my office if you are interested in looking at them, but and I have been with Larry through this. We're very excited just to have something for Perry. So if you are interested in it or want information about it, please let me know. It will be ready by celebration, so that'll be something that'll be a really big thing for us. It's our chamber's 100th year that we've been sanctioned, so this is just something that we're excited to share with everybody. It will have a map in it, it'll have our restaurants, it'll have information about Perry, so we're really excited to get this going and have something that we're proud of for our community. It's cool.
Very good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I did want to say that we had a good turnout this weekend for Mingle on Main. They had programs from 7:30 till 8 o'clock at night. There was a good turnout. There's also the Sassy's ribbon cutting at 10 o'clock in the morning that Noel was there. And we've had a good turnout for that.
It was a great turnout, yes.
It was also their grand opening event. They brought a band in, and we just had a good time. Weather was excellent. Nice little breeze going through there. Our pool managers started today. Need lifeguards. need lifeguards. And we begin filling the pool tomorrow, so we're making progress on that. This past weekend, Saturday and Sunday was also the Memorial Tournament. We had 18 teams, 200 players, 400 adults, 3 teams that stayed in hotels. Great weather. Our team count was down a little bit because it just so happened that this particular first weekend in June, most of the cities around us had tournaments, so that the pool went different places. And so the next tournament, though, is this coming weekend, and we have 30 teams already signed up for that, and max is 35. So we're really excited about that. As most of you know, we are having MKEC do a drainage program and study for the area around Maple and Tower, 2nd Street, and surveyors will be in this weekend, towards the end of the week, to start that process. So we're glad to get that going. Any questions?
Larry, on the lifeguards, do they have to be 16? Or is it 15? Or
Yes.
what is it?
16.
16. And is the YMCA still willing to do a program to help certify them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we talked about that. Pam Groom is our pool manager.
Okay.
And she's already talked to Shay about all that.
Okay.
And Shay's also shared with the email address for the lady that does their certification, so.
Can you email that? I was going to post that just to see if we can help
Sure, you bet.
find some lifeguards.
Thank you, Mayor.
Any questions for Larry?
Mary, can I add one more thing? I'm sorry. Or I can wait until the next one.
Go ahead.
I also want to just real quickly, I don't know if it has been mentioned, but this weekend is also the NCPSA Smoke Eaters Steak Cook-Off. So that will be out at the fairgrounds. So they have lots of events planned that day. They have live entertainment. They have bouncy houses. They aren't able to do the steak testings or steak, trying the steak. But they will have all of the other stuff that's there, and they will be judged on their steaks. So I think there are, we just listened to this today, 28 teams maybe that are involved in that. But it's something really exciting for Noble County. So I do encourage you, if you're available, at least step out there and just visit with them. A lot of them are coming from out of area into Perry. So I do want to make mention that that is this weekend as well.
And they have Bo Phillips playing.
Yes, Bo
and
Phillips
also
is playing.
New Dynasty.
Mhm.
What were the times on that?
You can check it out on Facebook.
Thanks.
I'm not for sure what times that are, but I'll give it to you, Larry, and you can send out the information to council.
Okay, very good.
Anything else? All right, we'll move to item 7, consider items pertaining to planning and land use. Item A is receive a recommendation from the Perry Planning Commission on the site plan review application for Grubbs Consulting for a new business location of Love's Travel Stores and Country Stores at I-35 and 1st Street, Perry, Oklahoma. Consider approval of the site plan as submitted. Do we have anyone here from David, or are you going to address this from the Planning Commission?
I can.
The recommendation?
We've had a public hearing, and there was no one there to object to anything. It went well. We had looked at the drawings prior to the Planning Commission meeting and had discussions with department heads and had already worked through all of that. So the discussion was pretty simple for the Planning Commission. Didn't have very many questions. So it's the recommendation of the Planning Commission that the council approve the plan as submitted.
Does anyone got any questions for David? If not, we'll have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Lyons? Yes. White?
Yes.
Bell?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Bond?
Yes.
Goldar?
Yes.
Stroller?
Yes. Thank you, council. Item B, receive recommendation from the Perry Planning Commission on the site plan review application of Richard Crowe for a new manufacturing facility at 515 West 35th Street, Perry, Oklahoma. Consider approval of the site plan as submitted. Mr. Payne,
Yes, sir.
any recommendations from the Planning Commission on Mr. Crowe's
Kind of the
facility?
same story. We, there had been discussions prior to the planning commission meeting to work out any questions, so it went well at the planning commission meeting. Again, there was no opposition, so it's, planning commission recommends to the council that they accept that as proposed.
Thank you, sir. Any questions for David? Well, we will accept a motion of approval of the site plan then.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Lyons.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Bell.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Vaughn.
Yes.
Goldar.
Yes.
And Stroller.
Yes. Thank you, council.
Did anybody notice it's gonna have an Arby's? The Love's gonna have an
Love's, yeah.
Arby's.
I
Just
thought
saying.
you meant Mr. Crowe was gonna put an Arby's out there.
No. That'd be it. Mr. Crowe's gonna build something. I hope he's gonna have an Arby's.
Be one heck of a break room.
Yeah, we was saying.
I've been around Mr. Crowe. He likes to eat.
A lot.
So congratulations, guys.
That's what I-
Item number 8, items pertaining to solid waste collection and disposal service and charges. Item A, consider approval of the 9th option to the municipal solid waste collection and disposal contract with Davis Sanitation Incorporated. Bryce, do you want to speak to this? Do you have any input on, you've been very active over the years with Mr. Davis?
Yes, we're presenting the second to last option. There's only one more option left. Each time we exercise an option, he has the right to to raise his fee up to 2% of the cost. And this is a flat rate contract. I will tell you that in the past, on a number of times, he has waived raising that fee, but this year, as we all know, inflation costs are there, and he did ask that it be raised. I'll tell you, these contracts are good. We have a sister community up north that didn't have this kind of contract, and their rates went up 35 or 40%. Do you know about that? Yeah. So it's good to have it, set up in this manner. That is, as long as you're happy. Now, one of the provisions of the contract says that if you elect to go out and RFP this, that's fine, but you lose the options. So, there's a little bit of good, there's a little bit of, not so good, but he would like to continue to serve, and he would like that 2% increase. So it's really an approval of the 9th option to the sanitation contract.
And then in item B, we will approve the 2% increase.
We'll decide whether we want to cover
Yeah.
that increase by way of a rate increase, yeah.
Any discussion, council?
I think last year we didn't have an increase, right?
That's correct.
Two or three.
Yeah, it was the year before, I think it was 2%.
Yeah, I don't think we had one last year.
I don't think so either.
It might have been 2 years in a row.
But, I mean, he does waive it during this period. He's waived it a number of times.
The only question I would have is not on the 2%, but he told us that the last time that he could possibly do a cardboard type of recycling for us. And with our push on buy local or ship in 2 days, I think it's something that we should revisit.
I
with
think
him.
they're doing that at the transfer center now.
Okay, they are.
I did hear that. I mean, can someone verify that?
He
Oh, good, I didn't see
he
that.
told me that. He told me that he was setting out something, a recycling piece out at the
Yep.
transfer station.
Dixie's the one that told me about it, but I hadn't been able to verify.
Yeah, we brought some stuff Saturday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Can we add
It's
that
a
into our
huge-
article?
Pardon?
I said, can you add that into the letter that we're, or the newspaper ad that we'll have at some point?
It's an old container that furniture stores use. So it's got 3 slots at the top, and you just fold them down, put them in. Works pretty slick.
Yeah, I did not see that. Awesome.
Yeah. We hope to get more programs out there, but this is a good start.
Yeah.
And I told him I appreciated it because I've been saving up cardboard for 3 months.
A lot of cardboard, so I'm kind of excited myself.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do with item A, council?
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the non-option to municipal solid waste collection and disposal contract with Davis Sanitation.
Second.
Any further discussion, council? Roll call, please.
Lyons? Yes. White?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Vaughn?
Yes.
And Coldiron?
Yes.
Stroller?
Yes. Item B, consider approval of ordinance number 2021-07, amending Chapter 18 entitled Fee Schedule for the Perry Municipal Code 2020 by the amendment of Section 17-607 entitled Refuse Rates, increase the solid waste collection and disposable rates by 2% due to the 2% increase from the solid waste collection and disposal contractor, providing for repeal or savings, codification, severability, effective date, and declaring an emergency.
So moved. Seconded.
Any discussion, council? Roll call, please.
Lyons? Yes. White?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Vaughn?
Yes.
Coldiron?
Yes.
Stroller?
Yes. Thank you, council. Item 9, approve.
Emergency.
Oh, motion on emergency. I actually circled it.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Lyons? Yes. White?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Vaughn?
Yes.
Yes.
Coldiron? Stroller?
Yes, thank you. Item 9, approve public fireworks display for the Perry Lake for July 4th, 2021, to be conducted by Tom Davis and Gary May, I'm sorry.
I make a motion to approve the annual fireworks display.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Lyons? Yes. White?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Vaughn?
Yes.
Coldiron?
Yes.
And Stroller?
Yes. Item 10, approve amendment number 1 to the fiscal year 2021 agreement between Oklahoma Tobacco Settlement Endowment Trust by amending the project description. Bryce?
We're recommending that you amend the project description so that additional expenditures can be made at the splash pad project. There are reasons why we went back and asked that project be amended, and it has to do with competitive bidding. This will have to be competitively bid, and the Oklahoma Tobacco Settlement Endowment Trust were happy enough to amend that description, and so it'll even look better than it does right now.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
So we're just saying
Oh,
that
sorry.
the grant money is going to be available to other aspects of the phases?
Yeah, I
of
think
Splash
it's,
Pad?
yes, and it's,
Sorry.
Yeah.
no, go ahead.
It was originally written for water features and specific like that, and this just adds playground and stuff like that.
Okay.
Right?
Yes,
Playground.
that's correct.
They were gonna use it originally to pay for part of the building, and it wasn't bid.
Okay,
So this has to be a bid project.
okay.
So we're gonna use it for a different portion, the same project, just a different area.
Okay.
Roll call, please.
Wines. Yes. White.
Yes.
Bell.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Bond.
Yes.
Coldiron.
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes. Item 11, consider approval of resolution number 2021-06, accepting the grant agreement for improved airport drainage from the Federal Aviation Administration.
Shouldn't approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Wines. Yes. White.
Yes.
Bell.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Bond.
Yes.
Coldiron.
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes. Thank you, council. Item 12, consider award of bid for improved airport drainage project to the lowest responsible bidder named J&J Solutions LLC in the amount of $243,775. Authorize the mayor to execute the public construction contract with the lowest responsible bidder, J&J Solutions LLC, upon receipt and review of the contract, bonds, insurance, power of attorney by the city attorney, and subject to the receipt of the federal grant. We went out for bids on this project, and J&J Solutions from out here west of town was the lowest responsible bidder. So we would like to award them the bid. Mr. Jim Botal is here this evening, and his top hand, Devin Brady. Y'all have any questions for them?
Yeah, any motion that's made needs to be made exactly like the recommendation is written, if you want to approve this.
Council?
That's a lot of stuff to read.
Go ahead, I believe you.
Well, then you can just say approve the recommendation.
And move to approve the recommendation.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Wines. Yes. Morrow. Oops. White.
Yes.
Bell.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Bond.
Yes.
Coldiron.
Yes.
And Stroller.
Yes. Thank you, council. Item 13, consider approval of amendment number 6 to the CEC's owner-engineer agreement for improved airport drainage. Mr. Attorney?
The grant covers 100% of these costs.
Thank you, guys.
These costs are for grant administration, inspection, and construction material testing for the improved airport drainage project. So it's a good deal.
Which is unusual.
I make a motion to approve the amendment as suggested.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Wines. Yes. White.
Yes.
Bell.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Bond.
Yes.
Coldiron.
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes, thank you. Approve ASAP Energy Incorporated Aviation Dealer Agreement for the purchase and sale of aviation gas at the Perry Municipal Airport.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Wines. Yes. White.
Yes.
Bell.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Bond.
Yes.
Coldiron.
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes. Item 15, consider approval of application for payment number 3 in the amount of $111,904.60 to Young Contracting LLC for the Perry Actuator and Valve Replacement Project. This is the project we got going on at the water plant.
Yes.
motion to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Wines. Yes. White.
Yes.
Bell.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes,
Bond.
Yes.
Goldar.
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes, thank you. Consider payment of Monsoon Consultants in the amount of $4,165 for work performed on the Perry CDBG Phase 5 sanitary sewer project and $600 for commercial park legal descriptions. Just paying the bills there.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Wines. Yes. White.
Yes.
Bell.
Yes.
Brown.
yes,
Bond.
Yes.
Goldar.
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes, thank you. Item 18, authorize payment of $30,285 for annual census hosting fees to Utility Technology Services for our AMI project. This is a contract we have every year.
Motion to approve. Second.
Roll call, please.
Wines. Yes. White.
Yes.
Bell.
Yes.
Brown.
yes,
Bond.
Yes.
Goldar.
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes, thank you.
Could we go back, did we approve 16?
we had two for young, and I don't remember.
I have
But
to
we only
approve
did one
one.
of young.
Yeah, which one?
We did this one.
16?
I have that we did 15 and 16.
We did
Oh,
both.
you
Yeah,
did,
we
you
did
have
both
it,
of them. We
okay.
did some.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we're zipping through pretty quick.
No, I agree, yeah.
All right. I actually thought the same thing, so,
Well, I bet
Did we do
what do I
17?
know?
yeah. No, we're good. So 18.
Well, she may not have one.
There was two for young, and I only remember the
We do.
111,000 one, but not the 13,000.
You may be right.
I think we need 16.
I don't believe it did.
No, we didn't do 16.
Okay.
Okay.
I have it written down.
I thought we did.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought we did. So.
I thought we missed it too, but
Let's do it again. Consider approval of application for payment number 4 in the amount of $13,625 to Young Contracting LLC for the Perry actuator and valve replacement. Acceptance of the project, acknowledge receipt of consent of surety to the final payment. I don't believe we did this one.
and this one will be approval to recommendation if you want to approve it.
We're not gonna pay them twice, are we?
No, this pays them the retainage.
Two different amounts.
And this accepts the project, starts the maintenance bond, and lets the surety know that we have accepted the project and have made final payment. And of course, we have Cowan Engineering that checks all this out, and they have certified that it's proper to do that.
And I did check with Vernon this morning, and he said it's working good. Doing what it's supposed to do.
Well, since Vernon likes it, I'll make the motion to approve to pay 11,000. What was it?
Just approve the recommendation.
Okay, I approve the recommendation.
Item 16.
We got a second?
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
All right. Wines. Yes. White.
Yes.
Bell.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes,
Bond.
Yes.
Goldar.
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes. 19. Is that where you're at? Okay. Authorize payment for repair costs to motor necessary for the wastewater treatment plant operation in the amount of $16,700 to Capital Electric Motor Repair.
I think we missed 18, didn't we? Yeah.
I was wondering the same
Yes,
thing.
yes.
Oh, my goodness.
oh, wait,
No, we did 18.
Or I mean 17.
No, we did 17.
We did for sure?
Yeah, I
Okay.
remember Monsoon.
No,
You read it.
we just did 18 because
I-
I was
I
going to
know.
say it was an annual contract if it came up
Yes,
because
I know we
was
did, I know we did that
thinking
one.
you
All right,
were
and then we
gonna
did
do that.
Monsoon. I know we did Monsoon.
Should we just start over from the top?
No, no, we're good.
Where
Call
you at?
everybody
I
back.
thought we're on 19.
I'm feeling
Bring everyone back. We need a start.
Okay, if you're, that's good. Or we'll just slow down a little bit. Sorry. This hasn't happened before.
Jet lag, I mean, this is like the Florida law office
I
thing?
don't know.
Too many vacations.
No,
He's
I'm
probably
back.
thinking about the next one already.
No, I'm back. I'm back. Yeah, let's go.
I haven't had one yet this year.
I've had one in 5 years. He's gone on 5 in 2 weeks.
Hey, I'm always working. On 1 week, except when I'm not.
On his tan.
Oh, I'm gonna leave that one alone.
I will vouch for the Florida law office. He's called me on business, and I've heard the waves in the background. So, he's working. You guys leave the guy alone, okay? Okay, item 19, that's where we're going, I don't care what we got going on here, okay? Authorized payment for repair costs to motor necessary for wastewater treatment plant operation in the amount of $16,700 to Capital Electric Motor Repair.
So, I have a question.
Bring it.
Okay, so is this a basic maintenance thing, or is this complete overhaul?
This is repairing of the motor, we're overhauling.
So we're overhauling it?
Yeah, yeah.
How old is this motor that we're overhauling?
Oh, I would imagine it's old. There isn't anything that we ever do. Let me see, 40 horse, tear down, wash, bake, test, clean all parts, insulate, winding, replace the motor bearings and sleeve, machine bearing housing, replace all bearings, seals, and gear reductor, assemble, seal with gear lube, replace coupling between motor and gear reducer. Normally, to buy it would be like 50 or 60,000. This is 16.7. But I don't know how old it is.
My biggest question is there a warranty with this type of thing?
There's normally a one year warranty. It isn't showing on this quotation. But I mean that's what they normally do.
Okay.
I'm familiar with this company.
Yeah,
I mean, Capital
We
Electric
we could probably
Motors
get a warranty
is-
for $50,000.
that's what I was wondering.
I mean, they are the
They're the ones that do it.
they're the ones to do it.
That's right.
Yeah.
And everything normally at our sewer, water, wastewater treatment plant is older than the hills
That's what I've heard.
and everywhere else.
I was gonna say, every city is having
All right.
some issue, so.
We have motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Wines,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Bell,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Bond,
Yes.
Goldar,
Yeah.
Stroller.
Yes. Item 20. Discuss any matter concerning the FY 2021-2022 annual budget, give direction as appropriate.
I just want to point out that according to our schedule, we're really scheduled to approve this 2 weeks from now.
Right, because we do have to hold the public hearing prior
Yeah.
to approval. But,
Well, we have today.
that was at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, that was the public
You're
hearing.
here.
Yeah, we have.
The one
I approved on it.
The one you
I missed
barely
a
got
portion
to.
of it.
Yeah, the one you barely got to.
And you're checking things too much.
But we do have that meeting. Russ
Check it
will
off.
be here. There's going to be some more work on it, a little bit more work
A
on it.
little tweak here and there. We're going to
Yeah.
talk in executive session. We have a matter. that
Yes, we have
talk
matters
about.
to talk about, so there very well may be
Yeah.
some amendments, but we can certainly do whatever you want. It's just that on, 2 weeks from tonight, it's going to be rather thorough with Russ here and, bring your questions. But I put this on the agenda so that if you had questions, you could bring them up today.
There will be one change that's run through, which is that you'll just approve the sanitation contract increase and the related revenue increase, which will add about $5,000 to the bottom line. So I will change that. But I'm happy to run through anything else that you want.
Any discussion,
No,
council,
you weren't thorough.
with the budget?
That was pretty good.
We're way over. We gotta trim some fat somewhere.
I called Larry with all my questions today.
I personally would like to see us take all the malls on affiliated fund off the budget. I don't think those are budget items. If that's something we're gonna fill with their approval, I don't think it needs to be in our budget.
Okay, the net impact of that would be 0 because we budget for the revenue and the expense.
But this budget is like 3.8 million over, and if that takes $2 million, about $2 million off.
Yep, 1.9. So there's $3.3 million in capital outlay right now. 1.9 of it is from the malls on, $190,000 coming through grants, and then 1.2 of it is city funded, which is
So-
about 15% of our
Yeah.
beginning balance.
So my point is that if that's gonna be filled through the malls on, fund, I mean, I'm thinking wrong about that, Meredith? I mean, it's not gonna be budget items anyway, it's gonna be through a grant.
We budget for grants. We budget for grants. We budget the revenue and the expense.
We did it this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
just
like
for
the
any grant,
transparency.
any grant that the city.
Well, I'm not
gives.
saying it shouldn't be transparent, I'm saying it shouldn't be a part of our budget. I mean, it's hard to.
If we spend the money, then and it goes through our centralized accounting system, it has to be reflected in our budget. So they give
So
us
we
the
don't,
money.
so if we're 1.9 million over and we don't get the grant,
Then we don't have the project. I mean, that's pretty consistent how we've always.
yeah, but how do you
approached.
approve a budget that's 3.3 million over?
The state allows you to do that because you all have
Why would
existing. Well, that's your choice, but, I mean, what I'm telling you is that you've got $3.3 million in capital outlay. You have about $124,000 in unaccounted for sales tax, which is the 10% incremental change. About $890,000 in utility revenues that are budgeted conservatively. So when you look at your net change, your net income, your loss, it's 2.2 million as budgeted for the fiscal year. We have about $1 million of unfunded revenue, which are the two things that I just talked about, the sales tax and the utility billing piece. Then you have about $1.2 million of city-funded capital outlay, and that gets you to a break-even budget. Because the grant capital outlay and the malls on money. they
So
pay for
to approve
themselves.
it, wouldn't you just do that it's contingent on those grants? If something falls through on the grants,
Consistent
then
with
you.
how we do, yeah,
Yeah.
any of our capital projects. We never take on a capital
Right.
project or complete a capital project until we get the revenue sources in.
Exactly.
That our utility revenues are hitting, that sales tax hasn't tanked, that sort of stuff. So that's, that's consistently how we've run. the
Well, I talked to
administrative
Russ
side
about
of
it,
it.
Russ thought he thought it was a good idea,
Sounds great.
so.
I mean, that works. We absolutely move that out.
So, but if you do that, then we have to show a separate accounting of that, like it has to be.
Well, then you amend the budget.
Then you amend the budget.
Yeah,
When it
budget
comes through.
amendment.
You amend the
it
You
would
get
be
the grant, you do a
amended.
budget amendment. It's real
Do
simple.
we, do we budget for anticipated grants that we,
If we have
that
been,
we haven't gotten? I mean, if we've applied for it, then we will include that.
kind of depends on the agency. I mean, if the administration says it's a long shot, no, we're not going to include it.
Okay.
Rescue Act funds, when we first did the budget, we did not include those because it was very
We have them in
arbitrary.
now?
No, they are not included now.
Okay.
Although there has been recent communication that came out within the last 30 days.
Yeah, last 30 days.
And that could be $1 million, right?
Our number is
730,
80.
780,
780.
780.
Okay. So like we aren't budgeting for that. Well,
We are
that's-
not budgeting for, I was actually in Frederick the other day, and a similar question came up. And he said, well, why are you not budgeting for that, but you'll budget for the insurance reimbursement? Was one of the things we hadn't been given, the actual insurance reimbursement on the roof. And I said, because I trust a private business much more than I trust the federal government to give us money. And so that's kind of consistent with the approach on not doing the rescue funds, including those in the budget, because that, again, is a very arbitrary, I don't know, I would call it
Moving.
loophole
It's a moving
situation. Thank you. Whereas if we're expecting from a private business, which I know that this is not a private business, but in this case, a trust that we've had some communication with. But we can do whatever, these are your all's numbers.
The money comes from the feds, goes to the state, and the state is required within
On the rescue
guidelines to give that out.
Whereas on the our trust, our Malzahn money, you all meet, you talk to them, and they release.
Larry, what did you tell me today when I was asking you about that? The expenses of the Malvern funds that was in the budget? And you said it's not, the budget is not the expending thing. I mean, we still have to approve expenses, but you worded it really well.
That was this morning.
Anyway, what we have budgeted, if the grants don't come through, then we don't approve those
We don't approve the
budget
budget.
things.
Yeah,
when
that
we
was
get to
expenditures,
them.
right.
Yeah. You know,
We can pull them, and we can do a
you
budget
don't
amendment every
spend
time.
what you
Yeah,
don't
we can-
have,
we can do
even
that.
if it's on the budget.
I just think that when you go to the public and say, I mean, most of the public's not gonna understand why we have that expenditure. I mean, we're $2 million over. You know, our budget's $2 million over from being flatline, and so why? You know, I think it needs to be I think we need to get the budget a whole lot closer to being balanced.
Okay,
And it doesn't matter, the public's perception is we're over.
But we are.
but removing.
Well, I know we are, but we gotta narrow it down.
Well, but
But
it's,
remove-
I agree with that. I'm just, but taking it off doesn't raise the awareness that we're that much over right now.
It doesn't raise the awareness, what do you mean?
They wouldn't know if we don't state it.
Well, we won't be over, I mean, we haven't received that
Yes,
grant
you
money,
will.
so we're not gonna expend those monies, so,
Okay, but you've got the revenue budget and the expense
I
budget.
understand
So
that.
if you take the expense out, you're taking the revenue out.
Right.
I get that,
Okay.
but you're sitting here saying we're $3 million over, so what, if we take out $2 million of that, you take those two out, what you're saying, you're taking the revenue, you're taking the expense out, then how much are we over?
$2 million.
It's still the same.
Because you're taking out $500 of revenue and $500 of expense. Revenue minus expense is zero, so your net bottom line is zero. The impact of your net bottom line is zero.
Well, what is the impact on our reserve?
The capital improvement that is city funded is about 15% of our beginning balance. So we're starting out the year with $7.8 million. And then we are funding from our coffers $1.2 million, city funded. That's not the Malzahn money, that's not grant money, that is completely coming out of the 7.8 million, which is about 15%, 15.8. Rounded up 16.
So, under this budget, our reserve would decrease, if everything went according to the way it should, our reserve will decrease by $1.2 million.
Should or budgeted. The way that it's budgeted, it would decrease by more than 15%. But as I had said, there's $1 million sitting out there that we expect to get. We expect to get sales tax consistent this year as we did last year. And we expect that people are going to continue to use their utilities consistent. That's about $1 million.
Requested.
Bill, I think I'm misunderstanding the question. So, and I need you to help me understand this. So, what you're asking is, should we not show the money that we're receiving from the Malzahn Foundation?
We're not receiving any money from the foundation.
We're not receiving money from the Malzahn Foundation. So there's this idea that if we show that we're not receiving money from the Malzahn Foundation, it's going to confuse the public.
Yep,
Because we're going to be 3 million over,
yep.
but we're expecting to receive money from different places. And what I'm hearing you say is that we should just take that line item off
Correct.
the page.
Because throughout the year, we go out for grants. And this
Right.
would be just like any other grant you go out for.
Okay,
And that is not in our
Okay.
budget.
But
Absolutely.
taking the Malzahn stuff out is not gonna change our budget at all.
You're
Because
exactly
she's
right.
adding the projects that we wanna do, and then it's funded. So you take them out, great, the budget doesn't change, it's still the same, it still looks
amount
the
of money
same
we're
because it's
spending.
still the same, we're still
Right.
out the same amount of money.
That's right.
Your total
I-
revenue's decreasing.
I agree, but what I'm trying to say is I don't think we should show that on our budget. Why do we want to show that project on our budget?
When we don't,
We don't have any money, they've not agreed to say, here's $2 million.
right.
Well, on this one page, it says the requested project for the fiscal year, which includes that million. And then the next line says approved budget, and it doesn't show it in that line. So to me,
Tell me what page you're
there
on.
was two lines, two different,
Tell me what page you're on.
I don't know
Page
how to
10.
explain it.
Okay,
It's
let's go to
on
page 10.
Page 10.
Page 10 at the
There's
bottom.
two columns there, and this one column shows
So here's-
requested projects for the fiscal year, which includes the Malzahn Foundation. The other one is the agenda budget for the fiscal year, which does not show it.
Okay, so let me explain this to you. So the requested projects for the year that we are in, this was a request from previous councils. They wanted to know, what have we requested in the past? So this is for the year that we are under currently. And the second column is what was actually approved out of those requests. The idea being that if the chief had continually requested cars and we had never funded that, maybe that would become first priority for the upcoming year, okay? So that's what those first two columns are. That's related to the year that we are under. The third column is for next year. What are we requesting? What are the departments requesting for next year? And what does the budget include for next year? So those two columns are related to the budget that you actually have numbers for.
Oh, okay, this is not the actual.
Nope, the first two columns are your requested and your approved for the year that we're under. And the second two columns are the requested and approved for the budget that we are approving, these numbers. Does that make sense?
I just wanted to make sense of this.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So for example, on page 10, the fire department, they requested in 21-22 a rescue truck for $265,000. It is not approved. It is not in this approved budget. I think maybe the word approved is what's throwing you. That word should say proposed. I think that might be clearer. Does that help?
Well, it made perfect sense to me when I studied it.
I guess the whole issue is, what should the level of certainty be before you include a revenue in the budget? I have a city that has 10 grow rooms coming online, and they're expecting the money to go up, the revenue to go up $500,000
Sure.
in additional electric
Sure.
utility, but they're not including that as a part of the budget. I quite frankly don't know why or why not, but.
Well, we always
but
budgeted
they're not.
conservatively, right? That's always the
Right.
plan, is to budget conservatively. In the instance of the Malzahn money specifically, it is a net zero impact
Yeah.
to your net income. So it's not, if you want to take out the expense, then you take out the revenue,
Right.
and the net impact is zero. So the certainty only comes when it's actually deposited and we do the project. You're not going to get the revenue without the expense, and you're not going to do the expense without the revenue.
Or if you have a grant agreement with the government.
Or if you have a grant agreement.
And it
So-
does,
So when you, sorry.
Go ahead, Derek, you go.
there's three ones. It does provide the public some visibility into what projects we're wanting to do versus just 6 months in, we've got money and we're building a building or whatever. I just don't.
Which we could do with amendment.
We could.
If you want it. I mean,
It does, but let me just back this up a little bit. Back it up, because we remember, we don't want, at least I've heard this in the past, we don't want to confuse the public with what the projects to be funded with Malzahn money are going to be, because, they don't want to be tied, they don't want, it's my understanding, they don't want to be tied to projects until they approve them, because we've gotten, not in trouble, but we've gotten some comment back before. They want to approve that. And they don't want there to be something published that says, this is what we're gonna, this is what we're gonna do, and this is what the funding source is, when they haven't approved. I haven't talked to you before them, but I'm bringing that up.
That's kind of what I
I'm
feel.
bringing that up from the past, and that may be the issue that we ought to consider, because that comes from them, not from us. But anyway.
And the reason I was stating this was, a lot of times, the public don't look to see what our revenue source is. All they want to see is our expenditures. And we're showing this giant expenditure, and we're, whatever it was, 2 point, what was it over? 2.2 over, and there wasn't they don't care about what the revenue is. Why are we 2.2 over?
Check it out.
Your bottom
Bryce
line's not
is
gonna
exactly
change.
right. Those people might say, well, you're expecting us to fund this now. I mean, we didn't say we'd fund this.
Okay, well, we did do it last time also, and we do put that it's a request. So we have the Malzahn Family Affiliated Trust request. So we do show them that it's just a request that's out there. It doesn't show that it's approved or it's basically just saying this is what we've submitted.
But does that put pressure on the Malzahns then?
To approve it? Obviously not. We did it last year.
Well, I know, but our request was pretty much last year, okay?
To Derek's point, I like it. I think that they have a right to know what we've requested. So whether we do it this way or different, I think in general, I don't think we should do it one at a time. I mean, personally, I think that they should know as a council what we're submitting into the Malzahn family to say this is what the city needs. So whether we do it here, we do it different, I don't think we should do it one at a time.
The
though.
council to approve. I mean, we're not hiding from the council.
I didn't say that, but I
You
just said, I
the
said whether
council should
we,
know what we're submitting.
I said whether we do it here or we do it separate, I think that they should see as a whole what we've submitted and not one at a time. That's what I said.
You're talking about the citizens, not the council.
Yes. And yes, as a complete group, I think we should be transparent of what we do instead of one at a time.
I think if you leave it, it gives you more time to explain it. And if you go ahead and take it out, then all of a sudden we just go ahead and we do our vote on it, and then the next day is when we start hearing from people, oh, well, how are we funding this, or we can't afford to do that. Or, it gives them a lot shorter fuse.
No, because we would take both out, right?
Yeah.
So they wouldn't see
Really?
that. They wouldn't see either. They wouldn't see the request and they wouldn't see the projects, so.
We could set it, another option is to set it up as a special revenue fund, which would show it separately, completely separate and apart. So, I don't know if you all have got your budget in front of you, but on page 1 is the summary. And so we've got our general fund, our enterprise funds, we've got our special revenue funds. You all could choose to move all the Malzahn projects into that fund. It would show a 0 beginning balance. It would show the revenue source equal to 1.977, expenses equal to 1.977. It would list those projects out, and then it would have an ending balance of 0. It would still show in your bottom line under grand totals, but it wouldn't be a part of the individual funds. So to your point, you could say, citizens, here is where this Malzahn money is, we're expecting it. That does go against.
I don't even like that word expecting.
Okay.
We shouldn't be expecting anything.
Okay, then that would not answer to you.
Yeah.
I mean, then that doesn't solve the
But
problem.
I think I think you're right, though. I think if you listed it underneath the special revenue funds, I think it allows again, what I think I'm hearing people say is I'm hearing bits and pieces of let's go ahead and say we're wanting to do this, and what I'm hearing from you is we want to make sure that it shows the bottom line in a different way. So it does say Malzahn fund, but you put it on special revenue funds. She's got to show an accounting of it. Like at the end of the day, it's think of it like a church. You have an endowment at the church. I have to show that in our budget, no matter what. Like even if I don't spend anything out at whatsoever, at the end of the day, the IRS is going to say, "Where's that endowment?"
Well, it's different because we don't have any money. We don't have an endowment.
That's exactly same problem though. If I go and I ask for a request for say PPE equipment from the state to pay for, I have to show it on the bottom line on the paperwork.
So
But,
you do a budget amendment at the church?
yeah, we would have to if we were doing it the way you're suggesting. We'd have to do it that way. In order
I
to
just
show-
don't want the mall zones to go, look, Perry wants $2 million worth of
Yeah,
projects.
I think I
mean,
hear
that kinda
you
puts
say
all-
that. I think if this accomplishes what you're suggesting, and it accomplishes what they're saying, it's just a matter of where you show it on the report allows that to happen. And it doesn't take it away.
If it's a grant, Bryce, like this, does it have to be showed on the budget?
If
I mean,
you're gonna
if we get a note grant in the middle of the
Well, it
year,
has to at some point.
Yeah, if you're
Well,
gonna
it's a
spend the
budget
money,
amendment.
you have
Doesn't necessarily.
you do an amendment, right?
if you are spending the money, you have to reflect it in your
Okay,
budget.
but what I'm trying to get at, say we get a note grant in the middle of the year.
You do a budget amendment.
We do a budget amendment.
Yes.
But it didn't go in the budget in June for that year.
Yes.
No, it didn't. You
No,
didn't know
no,
you were
I'm,
gonna
no,
apply
I'm
for it.
agreeing with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mayor, yes.
Okay.
There was almost an amen.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, so James, you're saying the same thing. She's saying yes, but you gotta show it.
No, you don't have to show it. You do a budget
At
amendment.
some point you do.
At some point you do, not now.
So you're saying, again, what I think I hear you saying is, we just leave it off completely, and then we amend the budget every single time,
Not every single time. When they come and say, here's your $2 million, then you do a budget amendment.
right there at that one time. And you're gonna request it all at the same time.
Yeah, that's what we always do.
Okay.
That is an absolute option. Yes, that is an option. You can do that. Yes.
I just don't want the mall zones to go, look, Perry thinks they're getting
Yeah. yeah.
$2 million.
Two
Well,
birds in the hand.
Guess what?
Yeah. Watch this.
Yeah. I'm not that type of guy. I want to go at, can you guys help us? We got
Massage
these
it.
projects, yeah. Not go, boom, we put it in our budget, pay it, you know?
Hand it over.
It still doesn't change the fact that you're gonna put together the list that you're gonna submit.
Well, that's already been put together.
Right, so I don't understand what the problem is to put it in here when the way you described it
Because we're not
sounds like a grant that
guaranteeing it.
magically came from the
Okay,
government that we
you guys do
decided
what
that
you
we
want.
would.
Just, I really don't care now. Just do what you want.
Okay.
Bill's wanting to massage, the mayor's wanting to massage them a little bit, I think.
It hasn't worked in the
Instead
past.
of-
We've been
instead of
denied,
going-
denied, and denied, and denied. Every time there's something wrong.
I understand your perspective, absolutely. But I just need you to understand that that's not gonna change the bottom line,
I
number
understand
one.
that.
And then
I
at
just
some
don't-
point, it's gotta go in the budget.
I understand that.
Okay.
When they send us a check, go, here you go. Do a budget amendment. But you got, I'm just, Mayor, I mean, I'm just another vote, so we'll do what everybody wants to do. And when we walk out here tonight, we'll all be happy.
See you.
I would just say, Larry, that you check with them and make sure that the procedure that we're talking about doing is okay with them, based on, some feedback that I've gotten and the fact that they don't want our request to change to what they're giving, and there being a public discrepancy. Right? I mean, you know that, right? Because you talked to them, and I'm not wrong in raising that. Am I?
No.
Yeah. So I think we just talked to them, and we, of course, could bring the budget two ways to you. And,
Absolutely.
And we'll just see. But, this is one of those things where everybody's right.
Right, that's what I'm trying to say. We're all saying the same thing, just different words.
Everybody's right here. Let's just, yeah.
We take it out, it's still zero. You put it in, you leave it in, it's still
Right.
zero.
It's just a presentation.
It's just, yeah, it's hypothetical. But at the same time, there is a modicum of decorum here that I'm hearing, in the sense that if we put it in the budget as an expected, and then we don't, it doesn't do anybody any good at that point. That's what I think I'm hearing you say. It says, well, the Mossad Fund didn't give us the money again, and look at these huge projects that we wanted to do. And then I'm hearing it from the accounting perspective, where my wife would say, you always have to show the money. Always, even if it's projected. And her throwing stuff at me, going, no, you always have to show the money, no matter what. So,
I'd rather put the expense and the money the revenue at the same time for this, just because it's the mall zones.
I get you.
I have so much
I hear you.
respect for what they're doing for Perry.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I don't want to
That's what-
shame them into the fact that they should pay that. Because they've shown that past years that they kind of get what they want. They don't care what we ask for. And I respect that.
Well, I would hate for anybody to think I'm trying to shame them into anything, I'm just trying to be transparent. So,
Yeah.
we can do it however we need to do it, but that's certainly not what I'm trying to do. I could see that a grant
I'm not
that
saying
just
that's
came
what
out of
you
the
do. I really
air
don't
is
mean
when
that.
you would do an amendment, knowing that you've submitted for something. It's a different, in my opinion, but I really don't care how we do it either, so.
Still haven't
Whatever's
changed the
best.
budget, just the way you document it. Did I hear that right? It doesn't change the budget, it's just the way you document it.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We will take it out.
Okay, what else?
Well, on page
Ready?
7,
Yes, sir.
I know we had the hearing. On page 7, the requested projects, core firewall replacement, and then the approved budget. And then it has requested projects fiscal year 21-22, City Hall upgrades, SMC, Perry incentive. Explain that to me. Has that been a requested thing that we're going to fund?
So for the first item, the computer replacements, it was not requested in 2021,
Okay,
so therefore it was not approved.
right?
It was requested for 21-22, our future budget, and it is currently included in the proposed budget.
And the City Hall upgrades of $216,000.
Nothing in 2021 that was part of the budget process. It was requested in 21-22, and it is included in the proposed.
Spending of,
Yes.
so this is the plan that you guys came up with a year ago about City Hall being a priority? Is this the bid price?
That's the project price.
That's the project price.
Project price.
So in other words,
Correct,
it's still gonna be funded,
correct.
and we're gonna do that.
And we use CARES money for that.
But the
Correct.
council has denied that twice.
Yeah, they've denied it twice. It's still there.
So why would we
take that out.
leave it in the budget if the council's already denied it twice?
Okay, we can take that out. So-
Yeah, it's your
That's
own
a good
choice.
catch.
Yeah.
Well,
It's your own choice.
that's not what I was saying.
What are you saying?
I'm saying the council denied it twice to use the CARES money. If you've included this in the budget, and then based off the figures, the budget's less than it was last year, and we've included in the budget that you're accomplishing the goal without using the CARES money. And I'm 100% for that, redoing the City Hall. That's what I'm hearing. This has nothing to do with CARES money, right?
This is not specifically allocated to a CARES.
That's what I wanted to hear you say. So this allows that to happen.
This is part of the $1.2 million that's funded from our beginning balance.
That's what I want to hear you say.
Okay.
But that being said, I'm excited about that. But is the council going to allow that to happen? Regardless of where the money comes
If you
from?
approve the budget, it happens. And it doesn't come out of it's not
No.
allocated. What you guys voted on last time, my understanding is we turned down the bid based off of paying from the CARES funding.
No.
No. Could you read the minutes from the last meeting, please?
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
We specifically said paying for the renovation of the city hall out of the CARES fund. That was the discussion. Curtis had this really great discussion about how we were gonna need to use this money for something else. Jamie had something else, and we had $3.1 million on the wish list based off of a plan that you all came up with. The $400,000 that was CARES money, the city council voted not to do the project with that funding.
My no was more around that doesn't execute this expenditure.
And the budget's not approved either.
Okay, so we're back at a place that needs to be discussed.
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure that's back on the conversation. And this was based off of, because again, I'm catching up. This was based off of the planning that you guys did a year ago, and had a top 5 list and the city hall was at the top of that list, right? That's why it keeps getting brought
The
up.
safety is, yes, safety of City Hall
Yeah.
was brought up, yes.
As number one, based off of the minutes I went back and read. So this would give you the ability to do that and continue to use your CARES money for other things, is what I'm hearing.
I don't think CARES money had anything to do with,
No, we didn't have that at the time, and that was also before, we also have other deficits that have to be covered, and it wasn't a complete renovation that we were talking about, or even those type of dollars. It was trying to figure out what that would take to go protect them.
Right, so now you've been presented it twice, what it would take. This would give us the ability to do that, is my point. If this budget's approved.
Same as using the CARES Act, yes. There's multiple ways to be able to go do that if that's where we decide to spend.
Yep. Okay, that's all I'm saying. That's it, that was my only question, because I saw it back in here and I was like, I don't remember that being in the original discussion, because it was a separate project. So. And then the asphalt roller was on here too. That was it. So, did more research on that too, that's pretty cool.
Is that though?
Mhm.
It'll help us a lot.
It will.
It'll be awesome.
Those are my only questions and comments. They have probably some of their own.
Any further discussion about the budget? Going once, going twice. If not, we're going to move on. Item 21, a resolution of support by the mayor and the city council for the city of Perry for the expansion of the Amtrak passenger rail service in Oklahoma and Kansas. This is just a letter of support, say that we would like to see it happen.
Has a long way to go, but we still, as a community, have to say, this is what we would like, or there are some that don't like this. But it gives us the opportunity as a city council to say, all these whereases, we understand, and it would be a good thing for Perry, and we need support.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Wines. Yes. White.
yes.
Bell.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Vaughn.
Yes.
Goldar.
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes. Item 22, consider convening an executive session to, number one, discuss the appraisal and purchase of certain real property related to the Upper Black Bear Watershed Project pursuant to Title 25, Section 307B3 of Oklahoma statutes as amended. And number two, discuss the matter pertaining to economic development of the city of Perry to discuss a proposal to entice the location of a medical-related business to the city of Perry to create additional jobs and payroll as a public disclosure of the proposal will interfere with the development implementation of the proposal pursuant to 25 OS 307C11 Oklahoma statute as amended. Item 3, discuss a proposal pertaining to the economic development of the city of Perry to entice the location of a business to the Perry Commercial Park to create additional jobs and payroll as disclosure of the proposal will interfere with the development and implementation of the proposal pursuant to 25 OS 307C11 Oklahoma statutes as amended. Item 4, the discussion of current negotiation of police, fire, and collective bargaining units pursuant to Title 25 307B2 of the Oklahoma statute. Okay, do any of these, Larry, does any of these guys need to stay for any of this? We need to include them?
No. Don't believe so.
Okay.
Right, you agree?
Oh, no, I agree. Meredith.
Meredith, yeah.
So moved.
Second?
Ability day.
I'll second.
I thought that's what you were doing already.
Roll call, please.
Wines. Yes. White.
Yes.
Bell.
Yes.
Bryce?
Brown,
Yes.
Gilbert, Vaughn,
Yes.
Goldar,
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes.
Down in the area, that is something that's on the top of my.
All right, item number 23, motion to reconvene in a regular session, please.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Okay, Wines,
Here.
White,
Here.
Bell,
Here.
Brown,
Here.
Bond,
Here.
Cold Iron,
Here.
Stroller.
Yes. Item 24, take any action deemed necessary pursuant to executive session. Hearing none. Item 25, any new business that needs to come before the council tonight? Hearing none of that either. Motion on the adjournment, item 26.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Wines,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Bell,
Yes.
Brown,
Make a note.
Bond,
Yes.
Cold Iron,
This time,
Yes.
Stroller.
Yes.
bring it up.